morning, I'm Allie, a student physical therapist with the University of Cincinnati, and I was going to take your pulse. Can you verify your name and date of birth for me?
Yes, my name is Anna Levecki, and my date of birth is 6/10/98.
All right, great. I'm going to wash my hands real quick, and then we'll get started. Because of the times we're in, I have to put gloves back on. Today we're going to be measuring your radial pulse before we get started with therapy. So I'm going to be looking at the volar side of your forearm, medial to the radial styloid. So I'm just going to be here, medial to the radial styloid. All right, so I'm going to measure for 15 seconds and get my watch. And then we're going to multiply that times 4 so we can see your pulse in a minute.
Okay.
All right. So you just relax.
Okay.
All right, you can relax. So that was 18. So we multiply that by 4, and that's 72 beats per minute, which is pretty good. Normal range is about 60 to 100 at resting, so that's good. Your pulse was strong and regular, so that's also good. And good job.
Hi, my name is Allison. I'm a student physical therapist at UC. I'm going to be taking your carotid pulse today. Can you verify your name and date of birth?
Logan Decker, 2/13/1997.
All right, I'm going to go wash my hands and I'll be back. So I'm going to be placing 2 fingers anterior to your sternocleidomastoid and inferior to your mandible. And I'm going to count how many beats I feel in 15 seconds and multiply it by 4. All right, so I got 16. So multiply that by 4, and we're going to get 64 beats per minute, which is pretty normal. And normal range is 60 to 100. So we're good for therapy.
All right, in the previous videos, we did a carotid and radial pulse, but there's also some common areas that we can look at. There's inguinal, there's dorsalis pedis, there's posterior tibialis, and those are some common ones for some lower extremity measurements.
When counting pulse, you can count it 2 ways. You can count it for like what we did in the video, which happens to be more convenient, which is you count it for 15 seconds and multiply it by 4, or you can stand there for 60 seconds and count it for 60 seconds, which happens to be more accurate.
So the 2 patients that we looked at, they had normal heart rates that was between 60 and 100, but if the pulse rate was at over 100, that would be considered tachycardia. And when considering therapy, we would want to consider the exercises we're doing and make sure we're not doing too high of intensity that could cause their heart rate to be higher than we would want.
And if their heart rate was below 60, that would be bradycardia, and some physical therapy implications with that are that they could be either, if they're not in like an endurance trained athlete, so they could have like a lower stroke volume, which could lead to them passing out more frequently, and we would just need to be aware of probably having to catch them if they're going to fall.
Tell me when you're recording.
I've been recording.
Good morning, I'm Dr. Q.
Hi, my name is Allison. Oh, are we allowed to shake hands? Hi, my name is Allison. I'm a student physical therapist at UC. Is it alright if I take your my left? Alright, so I'm going to be placing my fingers anterior to your sternocleidomastoid and inferior to your mandible.
All what you said, but that sounds good.
Okay. And I'm going to count how many beats I feel in 15 seconds and multiply it by 4 to get your beats per minute.
Where's your stopwatch?
Make sure to watch my stopwatch.
Hello.